Okay, Cold Wave, could you use push to talk, please?
Yeah.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hello?
Hello.
Testing push to talk.
Thank you. Yep, sounds good.
Track.
Hello. Hi, Shana.
Lotus is locked out of general voice chat.
Yep, I'm working on that now.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Hi Lotus, welcome. And,
Sorry.
and welcome everyone else to the server meeting today. Thank you for coming.
We do ask that you mute your mics while Drac is talking, please.
Yep, encourage everyone to use push to talk if possible during the meeting. So, we've got a lot of things to talk about today. I've prepared some materials for you guys to watch and enjoy. We're going to be talking about the new age and the new continent, Shorokov-Dern. I know normally we go to the board and talk about the signs, but we're going to be talking about the new stuff first, guys. So in just a few moments, I'm going to post a link in the Discord chat, in the general chat, and as well as in the game chat. And it's a YouTube link to our new trailer for the new age. Are you guys ready?
We're ready.
Alright.
Yes, ready.
Alright. Here you go, everyone. Very good.
How was everyone watching the trailer?
Yes.
So is this like a Ray class thing?
Ray class is best class.
There we go, everyone. What did you think of the trailer? Very nice.
I was impressed with the landscape of the whole place.
Yeah, I tried to get a lot of the landscape in there this time. So, there's the trailer. We've got a date, March 10th, which is a Saturday. Although, in preparation for it, the server will go down into maintenance mode for a few days prior, so maybe like the 7th of March the server will close and it'll give us a few days to really set the age up, a couple days to do some tweaks and things like that to make sure when you guys get on it's all smooth, and then March 10th we'll have a countdown timer probably and get everyone on at the same time kind of thing. Okay, so that's the trailer. I've also set up a little image slideshow for you guys. It's going to come up on the stream. If you don't want to hear the Discord and my voice at the same time, obviously it's going to rubber band or whatever. Just mute the stream. Just look at it for the pictures. So the first picture is up on the stream now. So we've got the date on there, March 10th. And that's just a picture of the general landscape of Shorokov-Dern. As you can see, it's very snowy and cold. There's no grass blocks on the surface, no trees, no tall grass or flowers. It's just, blue peaks, Age of Darkness kind of feel going on there. Next picture. So, death spawns. So this is how we're going to be doing spawning during the Age of Exile. Now normally we have, a forge/spawn, and we set up a central spawn point for everyone, and that's where we do things. So with the death spawns, it's kind of, if you guys have played Dark Souls or Bloodborne, it's kind of that sort of system where you approach a campfire or whatever, and you light it up or you activate it, right? So the next time you die, you'll be teleported to the nearest checkpoint that you died at. So it kind of encourages players to build in different places on the map. I think if we just made one central spawn, it would be like in one place. So people will build around that area. Whereas if we have several of these checkpoints around, I think it could encourage different places where people can set up and create a safe zone for them and their friends. So here's the next picture. Not sure if you can see that clearly, but this is just sort of marks the general location of the different spawns around Shorokov, and they're marked by the little green dots on the map there. So you can see they're roughly the same distance away from each other, and they cover a good portion of the continent there, and there's approximately 5 of them. Anyone have any questions about the spawns?
There are 6 of them. 1 dot in the ocean.
I don't see the one in the ocean.
Could I get a link to the stream so I can see the pictures?
Yeah, sure. The stream is in the general chat. You might have to just scroll up a little bit for that. Yes.
Sorry.
Sorry. Boy.
Yeah,
You go on.
So I was in the middle of cooking, but so I left for a bit. I'm assuming this is based partially, or inspired somewhat on a Path of Exile, then?
Path of Exile. Oh, the game.
Okay, I'll take... Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's funny.
I think it's called Age of Exile, I think, because during the period of time that we're on this continent, we won't be on the Ancient World, so it's sort of like an exile in a way. That's the sort of the theme,
Okay.
anyway.
No, that's fine. I was just interested because it seemed like there was a lot of similarities to the start of Path of Exile in the trailer, actually, and then with the names.
Oh, really?
It's just kind of a
Yeah, I have played it.
connected dots, kind of.
Yeah, I have played that game, but no, I didn't really think about that, actually.
Okay, that's just kind of funny.
Originally, it's actually the actual design or the aesthetic of the continent and the zones and stuff. It was more Dark Souls inspired than anything else in Bloodborne.
It was more like the beginning of the trailer with like the boat sinking and then everyone.
Oh,
fleeing
oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It looked cool though, right?
Yeah. The lightning was a bit explodier than I would expect, but it's fine.
Yeah, you got to get that Hollywood style in there.
TAW by Michael Bay.
I was about to say that.
Okay, so Boy asks, are bases are going to be a thing? I guess that question means factions are going to be a thing. Yes, we're going to get that. We're going to get to talking about factions shortly. Cold wave. Will it be perma-snowing all the time? No. It will just be, whatever the weather does by itself.
Sorry, I still can't get on the server, so
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
I'm a little behind.
No, no worries. We're just talking about the what's on the stream right now. Okay, next image slide now. Limited Worldguards. So this is sort of a philosophy we were kind of contemplating while we were building Shorokoth. There's a lot of builds, as you can see by that picture there. There's a lot of ruins and things around to discover and find, and a lot of them are mob zones that have treasures in them and things. And a big thing is when we spend a lot of time building a lot of these things, we get kind of attached to them, and then we get worried that people are going to come in and grief it when they get on the continent. But we kind of had a lot of discussion about this, whether these zones should be walled guarded, and we decided to go with a system where many of these zones you can actually conquer them. So you could go in there, kill all the monsters, put torches around, and claim it, and then fix her up. There are a few exceptions, of course. Some places will have to remain mob zones, because we do want to keep some mob zones around. We don't want them all to be conquered, and because new players might miss out, or we just want to keep those mob zones around for everyone. But the general idea was that we wouldn't world guard things too much. So yeah, you guys are going to have a lot of freedom to, if you see a castle ruin that has really strong monsters in it and you want that for your faction, you're welcome to try and take it. That's what it's there for. It's in your hands, basically. Okay, so any questions about anything to do with the builds or the wall guards or anything like that?
Wow, no questions.
How many wall
I'm
guards?
just trying to think up a good way to word it because it's a complicated question.
Okay, Coldwave asks how many wall guards. Well, there's a lot of them. Honestly, we've lost count. We've been wall guarding for a while, and there's quite a bit of variety when it comes to the ruins. They're not all just castles. There are things that are inside caves. We have some places that are buried, and they can only be discovered if you dig and find them. They're all over the place. But yeah, like I said, majority of them you're going to be able to have creative control over them and such. Because we just sort of decided, we get attached to these things when we work on them and we build them for you guys, but we decided once we're done with it and we ship it off and we let you guys play on the continent, we want it to be in your hands. Then it's out of our hands at that point. So admin shop. Sorry, go on.
No, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
How is it proposed that you conquer something? Are you able to actually clear mobs out of the place?
Yeah, well, I've made sure that the mob spawners are affected by light levels. So if that doesn't happen, if you put a torch down and monsters keep spawning, you can let me know and I can take a look at it. But I've really double checked and triple checked that I've made them more light sensitive. So if you put torches around areas where monsters spawn, they should stop spawning, and then you can take the tower or the castle or whatever it is that you're trying to take.
When you were doing that, did you test to see if the faction setting that disables mob spawns affects if they'll spawn if you just claim on it?
No, I didn't check that.
Might want to.
Yeah, that might be it.
Once you've claimed the entire structure and you put light sources everywhere, can someone be a funny clown and destroy all the light sources so mobs keep spawning again in your fortress?
Well, if you have it claimed on factions, they shouldn't be able to unless they're in your faction.
I don't think factions is going to be a thing, Soul Harvester.
Oh, really? Because I thought we were going to do factions, but with half power levels, but we're going to get around to that. Everything's up for discussion, guys, because, I mean, I want Age of Exile to be a bit of a melting pot of what everyone wants, because it's not on the Ancient World map. This is on a separate shard or a separate world, so because of that we can be a little bit more, we don't have to worry about balance quite as much. I mean, obviously some balance is important, but I think we can have a little bit more fun with this one, to be honest. So if there's anything you guys want,
Speaking of balance, you said that you hid a bunch of stuff underground.
Sorry, say again.
So, speaking of balance, you said you hid a ton of stuff underground, so if someone has like X-ray and they just go around and take all of it, are you guys watching for that so that you could like ban them or?
Well, that's always a problem, isn't it? That's always a problem. People doing that. I mean, it
is. I'm just wondering if you guys are. I'm just wondering if you guys have like all the coordinates and you'll teleport to them like once a week to see if like one individual has taken everything on one half of the map or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to be like a spoil sport. It's just that kind of thing bugs.
Oh, it definitely bugs me too.
Obvious.
People are always going to X-ray, so not much we can do about that. But keep an eye out for it.
Okay.
Okay. Someone asked a question in here.
That's a good thing to bring up. You know, we want to try to play fair. You know, there's not a lot of us here. We've said this before, so you know, you want to try to do the best you can to play fair and not do things that you're not supposed to do. I mean, somebody's going to catch you, so.
Okay, I've got to catch up on the chat here. There's been a few questions that we've missed. So, Boy asks, are there going to be any kind of admin shop? In the beginning, no. In the beginning, you guys are just going to shipwreck on this continent, and you're going to have to figure out what you want to do from there. As there's not going to be anything provided. Not even a spawn. You can't even do /spawn. You're just out there in the world. So, the first thing you guys got to do really is find a waypoint. You know, your first waypoint. How about economy? Yes, we'll have an economy cold wave. I think we'll just keep using the quartz. But like I said, we're not going to have an admin shop, at least not at the start. So, Sarum asks, is there no concern of mob grinding exploitation? I'm going to guess that's to do with how Worldguards aren't going to be restrictive. There was some concern of that, but I think it doesn't matter whether people can build in a mob zone or not. I think people can always make a grinder, 2 blocks away from the Worldguard, and aggro the monsters. But like I said, back to what I was saying before, how this is a separate map from the Ancient World. I'm not too worried about that stuff, because I think we should just have a little bit more fun with this one, to be honest. Does that make sense, guys? Am I making sense when I say that?
Yes.
Because when we're on the Ancient World, we don't want, to just throw...
Yeah, you don't want someone, like, doing a exploit and then forever having that stuff for, like, every age ever.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Like, I'll have my Elytra forever.
Yeah. Okay, looking... Will we freeze to death without leather? Yes. And how will we get leather? Okay, yes, the cold mechanics are going to be there. You will freeze to death without leather. The first time you spawn, you will be wearing leather armor as a kit. If you do die pretty quickly, you might be in trouble because you're not going to have another set ready. But to get leather, you're going to have to kill zombies. Zombies will drop leather. Yeah, that's going to be the main source of leather, is zombies. What sort of animals are there? Sorry, go on.
Will there be a / command to spawn back to the latest checkpoint you visited instead of F-home?
There won't be any sort of warping, as far as I know at this point. Yeah, there's no spawning.
Manual travel!
Manual travel, yeah. The continent is a decent size. It's big enough for everyone, but it's not so big that you need that kind of warping ability, I think. Kara asks, what sort of animals are there? No animals. There's no animals on Shorokov.
Except me.
So when you said no warping, you mean like no F-home, no spawn, or anything like that?
Yeah, that's right.
That actually sounds neat, because I've always been kind of sad that there's no real incentive for people to build like actual railways and stuff.
Yeah, it'll be like single player. Go back to the old days of Minecraft, you're on single player and you don't have commands, you know? It'll be like that.
You get an F-home or you get a bed. And
yeah.
Good luck.
Question.
Sure.
How large is this island in comparison to other continents on the ancient world?
Okay, well, as a rough estimate, I'm going to say it's probably twice the size of Balfell. A little bit bigger than Dagon Fell, I think, would be a rough estimate.
Grantastic.
Food sources, Osumaru asks. Okay, well, food sources, crops. Will crops even grow on the island? Crops will grow, but they'll grow at a much slower rate, like 10% or something like that. I think the main source of food is going to have to come from fishing, and if you can't fish, you're going to have to eat rotten flesh. I think would be the answer to that question.
Yep. Yuck.
Okay, next picture. I'm going to go to the next picture in the slideshow, guys. Let's see what's next. Okay, factions. Half power. What's Fraps doing that for? Okay, so we're going to be using factions once again, but with half power. So instead of getting 10 power per faction member, you only be getting 5 power per faction member. And I think that's the only thing we're really going to tweak when it comes to the power. We're not going to change any of the regeneration rates or anything like that. We're going to keep using what we're used to, just half the power. Any objections?
You're not gonna like half the DK when you die.
Do you think that'd be a good idea?
Well, I think if you lose like 100% of your power every time you die for that player, that's kind of silly.
Oh yeah, maybe we'll half that too. I think the reason for it is
maybe just like
yeah.
It's 5 right now, right? I assume.
When you die, yeah, maybe it is. Yeah. Okay, I'll write that down. We probably should half that.
So like maybe make it 3.
3.
So you at least like keep 2 power or whatever per person. So like if 3 people are out there and you have like 10 claims or whatever.
Yeah.
And you have like 15 power normally. They'd have to like drop 4 claims even then if they had like 10 claims.
Alright.
To get back to their thing. Like if they all die during a party trying to grab stuff from someone who died or something.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, that sounds good too. I mean, that sounds right.
I think we're having trouble hearing you. Okay, Sarum says, you mentioned a melting pot in this new age. How will factions help with that? Current factions alliances will just collect up again. That's true.
So when you have a new map, the dynamics are quite different, especially on the smaller continents.
Yeah.
Like when people are much closer together,
Or is this not working?
people banding together just for the sake of safety. And also, especially if you have low claims, it's going to kind of force people, if they want to have like any land whatsoever, they'll be forced to join together in order to have claims actually be sustainable whatsoever.
That's true.
Unless you want to be like a permanent two power faction. Safety limit.
Yeah. And I think we went with factions because I couldn't really... I don't know. I had a quick look at precious stones, but I remember people didn't like that for some reason. So.
No, I didn't. It's because it was like really small.
Yeah.
Like the difference between claiming a 16 by 16 chunk and claiming a 16 by 16 cube is massive.
Yeah.
And kind of silly.
Maybe in another age we could try something new other than factions. I really want to do that. Like, I'm very interested in exploring, you know, other ways to play the server. But for this age, I think the main changes. I mean, we got the new spawning systems and that we got enough new things that we don't have to change factions. I don't think.
I personally liked Townie, but it doesn't really work for war scenarios. So
yeah, and I think PvP will be a thing on Shorokov, no doubt. People are going to be PvPing, yes. I think. So watch those claims, guys, and watch your power. Be careful. Next picture. Turtle, your microphone is disabled in the voice because there was quite a bit of reverb coming from your microphone. Okay, so the new picture here is Mobzones and custom mobs. So I just want to quickly go over what the mobs are going to be like on Shorokov. They're not going to be your vanilla mobs. You're going to run into new mob types, and vanilla mobs aren't going to be vanilla mobs. So for example, if you come across a so-called normal zombie spawn, it'll actually be a Dern zombie, they're called, and they have iron armor and they have a bit more health. So it's going to be a little bit tougher, guys, with the mobs. However, mobs are limited to mob zones only, so you're not going to find mobs when you go mining underground. You're not going to find monsters under there generally, unless I change that. And on the surface at night, you're not going to find mobs spawning on the surface. You're going to find them at mob zones. So if you want to be relatively safe from mobs when you build and when you build your base and all that sort of stuff, don't build near a ruin or near a mob zone. However, from memory, when we've had Age of Continents in the past, if someone builds a base and then abandons it, it will become a mob zone. We kind of actively do that. So, for example, if you're living next door to someone and they leave the server, in a few days that build may become a mob zone itself, and then you might be in trouble. Any questions about the custom mobs and mob zones?
Is there loot inside?
We have placed loot in many of them, yes. The loot varies. You'll find books with stories in them, usually like diary entries or journals of people who died there, things like that. We've got some religious books that we wrote, just sort of a variety of things. But you'll also find some rare things like rarely enchanted armor and weapons and things like that. And there are some places where you might find diamonds and stuff like that too, so it varies.
Do we get quartz too? I'm sorry I missed that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the questions now in the chat. Yeah, there are relics, although that's not the focus of the age. Yes, you do get quartz from killing the custom mobs. That's correct. Does the loot get better the harder the mobs are? Normally, yes, but you may get lucky and find something really good somewhere where there's no monsters. It's sort of random. How many mob zones are on Dern? Well over a dozen, probably. Will our horse list be reset? Yes. No. When it comes to things like Z horses and things like that, that stuff's going to be stored away with the ancient world. So when we do come back to the ancient world, you'll get your stuff back. That's what I'm aiming for. Daniel asks, are the mob zones wall guarded? As I was saying earlier, it's sort of a mix. Most of them are not wall guarded, so you can conquer them and take them for yourself, but there are a fair few of them that are wall guarded, just so we can keep some wall guards, some mob zones around. Yes, Care, you'll have to walk.
Is one of those permanent ones near spawn so that people can farm rotten flesh and leather if they need it?
There is no slash one.
No, like...
Yeah, it's...
Like when you spawn...
For the first time,
in,
yeah.
like, the server. I'm asking if there's, like, a permanent world guard there, or if someone might claim it and, like, disable all the mobs, and then if someone, like, loses their leather, they're just kind of crap out of luck.
That's true. We'll have to look at that. I'll have to check over them, but... Daniel, we already went through that, but I will explain it again. How to claim a mob zone for yourself, to clear the mobs out. So you kill all the monsters or whatever, and you put the torches around. It's the same as any kind of... what you normally would do in Minecraft to take something from monsters. Any other questions, guys, about the mob zones or the custom mobs? Okay, we'll move to the next picture. Oh yeah, Lockette. Okay, so we are using Lockette, I think, but with a 3-day inactivity expiry. How does everyone feel about that?
I've never liked Lockette.
You don't like Lockette?
I've never liked Lockette.
If it expires, I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Right, but what if someone, like, just has a basically public chest? Like, they just put it down and they just refresh it whenever they want? Unless you just, like, claim it, I guess you could do that, but that's kind of silly.
I don't think it's a huge problem. I think it was only a problem in the past because it took a while for it to expire. That's right. Actually,
Yes, Sarah asked about factions and Lockette together.
well, they work together, yeah. They don't conflict.
Well, if you take over someone's base, that means you can't get any of the loot.
That's a good
Well, it
point.
means you have to hold it for 3 days, which means you have to claim over it, which, especially if you have really low power, would be difficult.
Mm.
I think there was a setting or a mod, something like that, where if you overclaimed something, it would, like, delete the lockets. Might have been a thing, which I would be fine with. Like, so if someone left a locket out in the middle of nowhere and didn't claim it, it would just kind of delete.
Yes.
But at the same time, then what's really the point if you have to faction claim it to protect it anyways? I guess unless you're trying to protect it from faction members. I've just kind of always found it silly if you already have factions.
Okay, so next picture. I think we're okay with Lockette in general, so it's not too controversial. Next picture. Ooh, this is a good one. Check it out, guys. do you think of that? Sorry, I know there's a delay on the stream, but you'll see
Yeah.
it in a moment.
It's werewolves.
Werewolves.
I approve for very obvious reasons.
I have been trying to get vampires, but it seems the plugin isn't working. So I don't know if we're going to have vampires. I'm trying to get it, but we'll see. But Sorry?
Is that the human form or the already transformed form?
The picture?
Assuming that they transform.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the transform form right there in the picture.
Do they look like normal villagers or players or something?
No, they're the player.
Just permanently werewolves?
You could be a
Oh, okay.
yeah. I think I'll put a link on the because I'm going to do a blog post about all this later. But there will be a link to the Werewolf plugin Wikipedia page, and you can read all about the plugin on there and how it works. And yeah, boy, you can turn into werewolves. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you guys are going to be able to transform into werewolves. And if you don't like to be a werewolf and you hate werewolves, you can actually hunt them down too. You can get these things called werewolf trackers, and you can track them down. And if you attack them with silver weapons, it does a lot of damage and things like that. So, yay.
Yeah, it is a lot of stuff, boy.
Yeah, Turtle, the werewolf is optional. You don't have to be a werewolf, no. And you don't have to hunt down werewolves, but you might get PvP'd by one, so I guess it's not optional, no. Because Sorry?
How do you get the werewolf power to begin with?
Well, like I said, I'm going to put a link to the... when I do the blog post later, there will be a link to the werewolf plugin manual, so you can read through it yourself and see how it all works. But I believe there are different types of werewolves and different ways of becoming a werewolf, so I suggest study that if you're interested.
Is there a main feature, or is it just a kind of bonus side feature that we're experimenting with?
Sorry, rephrase that.
Is the werewolf plugin a main thing we're involving in Sharkov Dern, or is it just a bonus side feature we're experimenting with?
Well, it's always an experiment. Whenever we do a new age, we experiment with new things. So, we'll see how it goes, and if everyone likes it, maybe when we come back to the ancient world, we'll keep them. It's that sort of thing, I think. But I think it's perfect for Shorokoth because it's a very dark continent. It's always night, and it's kind of got that sort of spooky element, I guess. I mean, perfect for vampires. Unfortunately, we can't get that plugin working. They do have bonuses, boy. Yes, they can run faster. They can take more damage. So if you're not a vampire, if you're not a werewolf and you don't want to get killed by someone who's a werewolf, you should probably carry around silver weapons because that's their weakness. I'm going to put a link in the chat now, actually, for the plugin, so you guys can look into that.
Yeah, that'll be great. Red Fox asked, is it always going to be night?
Yes, it'll be always night on Shorokoth. Drac, when you say silver, do you mean iron? Yeah, it is an iron sword, but I think you need to craft it specifically to be a silver weapon. So yeah, you need blaze powders and quartz to craft the silver sword. Now, obviously, blaze powders are going to be very hard to get. However, we have placed silver swords in many loot chests around Shorokoth, so there's going to be a very limited supply of silver weapons at the start. So if you want that defense, you need to get exploring and get one of those swords before they're all gone, guys. What do you think of that?
I don't know if this was covered or not. Are we still going to have job plugins so we can get quartz?
Oh, I don't think jobs are going to be a thing. We might get MC MMO instead, but I don't think jobs are really... If we're talking thematically, you know,
Hunting.
maybe.
But you get quartz from killing random mobs either way.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll be getting... Yeah, the mobs drop quartz anyway. Sarum asks if there's a limited supply, what's stopping werewolves from collecting all the swords and destroying them? The answer to that is there's nothing stopping them. So, but I don't think they can get all the swords just by themselves. And I don't think we're going to have werewolves at the very start. You know, no one's going to be a werewolf at the start. No one.
Right.
You guys have to become a werewolf in your own way. We're not worried about MCMMO being OP really, because like I said, this isn't the Ancient World. Well, it is the Ancient World, but it's not the Ancient World map, and I think we can be a little bit more liberal with plugins being a little bit ridiculous. What do you guys think? What is MCMMO? Turtle asks. MCMMO is like, it adds like a MMO style skill system to the server. So we have like, you know, wood cutting skills and hunting skills and yeah, no, they're not jobs. They're like skills for your character, for your player character. As you do things, you'll level up different skills.
Generally, with those skills, you also get other advantages. Sometimes they can be really big. Like if you do a lot of mining and you get to a certain level, instead of dropping raw ore, it'll automatically smelt. That's just an example.
Okay.
Wow, that's cool.
Daniel asks, does that mean we can get magic plugin on the server? I looked at the magic plugin and from what I saw of that, it looks like you can like blow up things and stuff. I don't think that's a good idea to put that on this.
No.
I mean, we want to make Dern fun. We don't want to blow it up, guys.
It was also a lot of work, so if we all get blown up, that wouldn't be good.
Okay, so any more questions? Oh, sorry, Donna, go.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, for those talking in general chat and server chat, please try to stay on meeting subjects. For those that are going and vanish and pushing people, please stop. It is taking away the meeting from other people. I would appreciate it if you just stop.
No problem.
Yes. Thanks, Donna.
Okay, so if you guys have any more questions about werewolves, I'm just going to direct you to the page for that plugin for all the specifics. Okay, next picture. I think that might have actually been the last one. Yeah. Okay, that was the last picture. But there you go. That's Shorokov Dern, also known as the Age of Exile. You're all being exiled to this terrible, terrible place where you're probably going to get eaten by werewolves. So have fun with that.
Wow.
What do you guys think? Out of 10? What do you give that out of 10? What do you give it out of 10? The anticipation. Is it good? Does it sound fun?
About 5, average.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yo, you can only have my honesty. I offer you no less.
Hey, I don't ask for more than that. Alright, so I think that's the presentation in general is over now for the Age of Exile. We can probably move over to the signs now on the board. Fun times to be had.
Yeah, and thank you so much for all your work you've done. I mean, it was a lot of work to do to get that stuff together, and of course we all know, you know, it's not going to be perfect. So
yeah, for those who don't know, we've been working on Shorokov since 2016, so it's a long time coming. This one. Hope it's worth it. Don't want it to bomb in a week. That would be very upsetting.
Kara asked a question if werewolves are obligated to attack other players, or if that's an optional thing to do as well.
Of course not. Of course it's not obligated.
It's optional.
Yeah. Although
We talked about that already too.
although I can imagine some players might want to band together to hunt down werewolf players, maybe like a werewolf hunting faction. That'd be cool. Silver weapons and stuff, and werewolf trackers.
Mainly the other way around, I imagine, as if the werewolves would have some sort of desire to feast to keep their power going or something.
Okay, Turtle, I'm switching your microphone on, but I hope there's no more reverb on that. Okay. Care, yeah, we just answered your question, I think.
Continue.
Hello, Daniel. Alright, I'm back in Minecraft. Here we are. Everyone's sitting down. Hello. Welcome to the meeting. Thank you for coming, everyone. No, doesn't mean it's over.
We're going to go to the board now, right?
Yeah, we're going to the board, guys.
And certainly people can ask questions anytime about any of this to you.
Yeah, sure. Just if you guys have any questions about Shorokoth, or if you have suggestions or ideas, send them my way, and I'll take a look. All right, so board time. First, sorry. Can't hear you, Turtle. Sorry. Okay, first sign. Buy custom ranks with in-real-life donations or in-game quartz or vote points. Ranks. Latte. So, where's Latte? I'm looking for her now in the crowd here.
Hello,
Hello, who's that? Latte.
I'm Latte. Yeah, what up?
Yeah, the first sign is yours. It's about the custom ranks.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was wondering. So is there any way to add like donate ranks or vote point ranks or just buying ranks with quartz? Like, would you be open to more custom ranks?
Do you mean like would they supersede the races that we have?
Yeah, I'm sorry. That is what I meant. The races. My bad.
So, can you give me an example of some rank titles that you have in mind for that?
I don't know. Like, even werewolf actually.
Oh, so I don't know.
Like
It's
for a while.
it's a bit pay to win. You know, pay to be a werewolf.
No, I mean like the lore races. Like, yeah, like more like for nature. Like sap folk could have their own thing, and like nature spirits and stuff like that. Are you open to any of that? Or tree, yeah, or tree.
Yeah.
So custom titles is what you want, like
Yeah.
to pay for custom titles.
Kind of like how Dan has the orc race, but no one else does.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, to answer that question, yeah, I am open to the things like that. Not with in real life donate though, because that gets kind of weird for me personally. But in-game quartz sounds good, or vote points sounds good. Don't know if I'm gonna have time to like customize and set something like that up though. Not right now, anyway. But it could be something for the future if someone wants to, you know, step up and configure that. For donations, Red Fox asks, for donations, can there be a pets plugin? We've had that in the past, actually, and maybe we'll get that back again. But I don't think that plugin updated. That's why we don't have it anymore.
I believe it's called Pets Plus now, or something like that. Or My Pet.
Oh yeah. I think we used, there's one called Simple Pets that seems to be updated.
The last I knew, My Pet was updated. Plus, they've added a premium with it. You can get the free version or the premium.
Wow.
Daniel asks, on the topic of titles, will I get to retain my title as Orc? I think we might keep the... I don't know. For the short, you mean for the Shorkoth, right? For the Dern. I don't know if we're going to keep the titles or not. We probably will, but...
Have to think about it, right?
Yeah. So yeah, to just summarize the answer to that sign there is yes, I am open to more custom ranks, but I don't really have the time to configure that right now. But someone else is, if anyone is capable of configuring that and supplying that, you know, we could maybe get that on here.
You know, somebody could bring it up and...
Yep, sure. No worries. So, next sign is, will Dern be available when our current map comes back, or is it all gone? It will be available, but not immediately. It will come in an update later on. And it's not a huge map, so it shouldn't take too long for me to move it over. So, yeah, to answer that question, yes, Dern will become available again. When we come back from Dern, will we keep any loot we got while we were there? Yes, that's my intention, to let you keep things that you find on Dern, for sure, definitely. Samaru, yes. No, it won't be like the New World. The reason why the New World hasn't been placed on the actual map yet is because it's very large, and we don't have the map space yet. But I do plan to bring the New World over as soon as I can. But no, that won't happen with Dern. Dern will be moved over much faster. Probably within a month of coming back to the Ancient World, we'll get Dern back here, so you guys can go back and explore it. Yeah, Daniel, the New World was fun. We're going to bring that back, actually. I've got a list of things to do while you guys are on Shorkoth. I know some of you already know this, but while you guys are on Shorkoth Dern, I'm going to be working on the Ancient World map, and I'm going to be expanding the oceans and with the new ocean content. That's kind of half the reason we're doing Shorkoth Dern. So when you get back, maybe the New World will be here. That would be really nice.
Oh, good.
Okay, next sign. Roleplay conflict chat in Discord again. So this is asking for the conflict channel to be on the Discord again, right? What's that noise?
That probably could be added.
Yeah, we had that already a few months ago. We had a channel on the Discord called Conflict Resolution or something like that. And basically, whenever a fight would break out in the general chat or in the screenshot channel or anything like that, it would get moved over to the conflict channel. But the reason that was closed, we actually closed the conflict channel because people were using it to talk about, you know, Nazis and things like that. I don't know. But I think those players are gone now, those players that were obsessed with that stuff. So I think we could bring that back, actually, the conflict channel. Does anyone have objections? Having more channels on the Discord?
No, I think it's a good idea.
Bring it.
Yeah, good idea. Get it out of the other chat.
Yeah. Alright.
see Coldwave wrote, we need it in character chat.
Like a roleplay channel. You mean a
Coldwave, is that what you're saying? Coldwave, you're saying a roleplay channel?
Yeah, something for like light roleplay, I guess.
Sarum says Minecraft is the in-character chat. Yeah, that's a good point. I think once you log into the game, that's when you're in the character, aren't you?
Yeah, but sometimes it's hard to like people you need to talk to aren't online, but they might see Discord. I think is the idea of it.
What about private messaging? That wouldn't be the same thing. I understand.
Okay, well, I'm not against it, so we can have a roleplay channel. I mean, we have a meme channel. I mean, if we have a meme channel, I don't see why we can't have a roleplay channel.
Oh God.
Yeah.
To be fair, these memes are incredible.
Okay, next sign, guys. Uses for old boss tokens, like Acolyte of Turf, etc. So, I guess this is talking about the tokens from the Dark Moon 2. Fen. This is, I think this is Fen's territory.
Yeah. Zane Fen.
Yeah.
I think with Dern coming up, that's not going to be a thing until after.
Yeah, probably.
Like, Dern is the focus.
Yeah, and I think those tokens were really Dark Moon 2
They were
stuff.
mainly meant for the dungeons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be after Dern. They're going to deal with that. So just save them.
Yeah, save your tokens. Or, you know, hang them up on your wall as an artifact. That's cool too. Okay, next sign. Being able to have TPA for ore and back Wild the werewolf. Okay, this is by Wild. No, we never want to have TPA or back. Why not?
Okay, so you're never going to do that.
No, I mean, I think a lot of people can agree on this server that it kind of cheeses the size of the map and the exploration aspect of it. People just teleport everywhere. I mean, I know we already have portals. I mean, even that's pretty useful. I don't think we're going to have TPA.
So that, that's a good suggestion, but like you said, it kind of conflicts with trying to explore and go around and see different things. Red asked what if you do if someone needs help.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Well, I do remember when we used to have TPA on the server, there was some PvP issues, like someone would like, say for example, breach into someone's base and then teleport all his friends with him once he got in, and it just seemed to be something that was a bit exploitive in terms of PvP anyway. We definitely have new players who join the server from time to time, who log in and realise there's no TPA and then they quit immediately. But, you know, I don't think it's that much of an inconvenience, is it? Not having it?
I think so.
You'll be able to move around Dern very easily. There's no point for TPA.
Yeah, I mean, you already have a lot of freedom with, like, the F-home to, like, yourself or your allies anyway. I don't think you need to be able to teleport literally anywhere someone is.
Yeah.
Would you mind if I add a sign at this time at the end?
Yeah, sure.
I just thought of something. Okay.
Yep. Okay, next sign, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, we're ready to move on.
Enact ban on blackmail and extortion via threats to kill. That's a bit of a weird one.
Whose was that?
That was mine, and we already covered it, so I'm just...
Oh, okay.
Alright, next sign. Discord sub chat for talking about law. I suppose that goes with, we got the conflict one, the roleplay channel. So would the law channel be separate to roleplay, or could they just fall into the same category? Or what if we call the channel roleplay/law, so we can keep them there? Yeah, law roleplay channel.
Yeah, because if we have too many channels, then you know, it's going to be confusing.
Yeah. Hello, Turtle. Try speaking. Try using your microphone. Hello, Turtle.
Yeah, still can't hear you, Turtle.
Okay, command to add our own law subtext to items.
That's interesting one.
Yeah, because I mean,
that up.
yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. Isn't that just an essential command, Fen? Like law add or something like that? Pretty easy one to implement.
It can be.
I think Essentials does have something, but I think there's a better plugin out there. I'm not sure.
Hello.
Hello, Turtle.
All right.
It sounds like Turtle's still having some problems with his microphone.
Yeah, we can kind of hear you, Turtle. Like once in a while it comes on, and then we can't hear you.
Okay, so adding law to subtext to items, I'm completely for that, guys. Unless anyone knows of any exploits or problems that could arise from that, I'd say we should get that. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's kind of a creative added thing.
Yeah. /Nick.
Nicknames? Is that nicknames?
Yeah. Doesn't Microsoft offer, or Mojang offer, a name change once a month or something?
Yeah, you get a free one once a month. You have to keep it for the whole month after.
I think we should just refer... If you guys want to change your name, I think you should just do it through Mojang, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I just did.
I mean, it works better, and it's probably going to have less complications.
Plus, if we're adding Lockette, I don't know if /Nick is that or not.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, how does that change with Lockette? If you change your nickname?
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. It could have unforeseen consequences. Like, we have the race titles. Well, I don't know if it might mess with the race titles. I mean, I think it's just... yeah.
With Lockette, when players change their name in-game through Mojang, it will lock them out of their chest with Lockette. It does not, at the last I knew, it did not have the capability to recognize the name change.
Okay.
Wow, that's good. I mean, that's good information.
I do know that there is a moderator or admin override on Lockette that staff could override that, unclaim the chest, and give them it back so they could claim it in their new name.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Well, with that said, I don't think we're going to be getting nicknames on the server. Like, not /Nick, not like that, no. Alright, that's that sign. Anyone have anything to say? Anything else to say, guys?
Drek, you just got to lower your microphone because we can hear you breathing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
No problem.
Next sign, marriage plugin. Me and compute. Is this the sign by Lockette and compute? Where are you guys here?
No, never. Poot is gone.
Where is he?
I don't know actually.
I think he's at a church thing.
Oh, right.
He got out of this one. I was going to marry you guys right here and now, but
I am. Oh my god, is that why he's gone?
maybe.
Yeah, if anybody wants to get married, then Drax offers to just go ahead and do the plug-in for you.
No, you guys.
He's gonna marry you.
We can just go up the front, up here to the front, and we'll just marry you guys. Say your vows and stuff, but maybe next time.
So, will you marry me, Drac?
No. I'm already married to myself, guys. I'm sorry. Switching to MCMMO. Shutting off OP options. This is Shurkoff doing stuff again. I think we already covered that, didn't we?
Yes.
I was under the impression that one they wanted to add that to the ancient world, not just Shokuth Dorn.
I put that up there. My thoughts were to add it, delete the OP options such as cutting down trees instantly and the TNT mining stuff and the unarmed. I really like the progression system of MCMMO, but I don't see a point in adding it right now if we're just going to be gone in 10 days.
Yeah, and actually, on top of that, I think once we have MCMMO on Shurikoff for a few months, and we configure it as time goes on to our liking, if we get it to a really nice place where we like the way it's configured, we can move over to the ancient world afterwards with confidence, you know? So... yeah, there's a good chance we'll bring MCMMO over from Shurikoff, so you keep all your levels and stuff. When will Shurikoff be coming? March 10th. Yeah, March 10th, but the server will be closed around March 7th. So there'll be a few days of maintenance to prepare the server for the age. Okay, next sign. Bring back mob health bar. Doesn't that come with MCMMO? Can anyone confirm
I don't
that?
think so. I remember it was a certain plugin that we were using back during Continents and Orastar.
All right. Well, don't the mythic mobs have health bars?
They have a small text overlay at the bottom of your screen, but I really like the health bar over the mob itself.
Alright. I'll look at that. I'll look into that. Easy. I don't think anyone's against it, so... Next sign.
Yeah, good idea.
Bring back signs that spawn when you die, telling how and when. You know, it was fun when we had that, but I think it can kind of get a bit spammy. So...
Who wrote that?
Yeah, who put this sign up? Death signs when you die. Does anyone want to interject and say why they want it? Death signs?
Oh, that was Turtle.
Yes, Turtle.
Just type it in chat, Turtle. We can read it.
Yeah.
It seems like there's so much going to be going on. I don't know if that's just like another thing.
I don't think it's a priority, no. It's... You're shooting arrows. Stop that. It's annoying.
He really wants his microphone going. So insistent.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of deaths and from the cold and starvation. We have like a million signs. You're going to feel bad enough about it as is without the sign.
Okay, the next sign is down here in the bottom left corner. transitional period when it comes to base protection after returning from Dern to the ancient world.
Good point.
Yeah, I would like to say to that, when we do come back to the ancient world, we will do a similar thing with we'll have a date and a time when the ancient world will become available again. So if you want to get on and protect your things as quick as possible, I'd say get on as quick as possible and do that. But I think also we should have the moderators and myself to keep an eye on things and make sure people aren't stealing.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
I just noticed that someone overwrote my sign.
Oh, which sign was that?
Yeah. Up this top right, I had a sign that said Turtle's administration of the wiki, and he changed it to enact ban on blackmail and extortion via threats of kill. Yes, but why would you remove someone else's sign? You should have messaged Akortha.
Okay, well...
Yeah, that brings up a good subject. That brings up something good. Yeah.
You shouldn't. You should not overwrite people, please.
You could
Talking
have
about...
Excuse me. I was going to say, Turtle, you could have let me know, or let me know, and I could have passed it on.
Yeah, I think that we need to kind of perhaps have someone in charge of the wiki, and then when people want to make changes, maybe discuss it with that person first, instead of just going ahead and making a lot of changes. I don't know. What do you think of that?
Well, I've heard a lot of things about that, and it's been on the Discord quite a bit.
I was going to say, would it be better to leave the wiki for the very end? Because I have a feeling that's going to be a large discussion.
I was about to say that, and I concur. We'll save it. It's a huge debated topic.
Okay, we'll go to that to
leave
the
it
end.
to the end.
Yeah, alright. The New World. Okay, I'm guessing that's back to the New World map again. I think we covered that already, so we can skip that sign. But I will answer it one more time, just to make it clear. The New World will be on the Ancient World map at some point. I hopefully in the next few months during the Shurikov age, hopefully I can get it on the map. That's my hope. Okay, some other source of food on Dern to avoid diminishing returns and death. Okay, so
We covered that already.
yeah, you got to do fishing and rotten flesh. There you go. Run automated biome assignment to fix biomes. Who did this sign? Cold Wave. Is this you?
The one next to it's mine, but I mean,
What was the topic of that last one?
Run automated biome assignment to fix the biomes. So there's no more ocean forests.
Okay, so is there anyone who wrote that sign so you can tell us better?
Yeah, Turtle just said it was him.
Yeah, I was going to say, Turtle just typed in chat it was his.
Okay.
Turtle, you're not muted. You're not muted on the Discord. Your microphone's off, according to Discord.
Yeah, you gotta re-enable your microphone. The little button at the bottom.
Vote time.
Okay, so
Cold Wave, you wanted to talk about the biomes?
Silver Salt has a question about how to make money on Dern if jobs aren't going to be there.
Don't throw bottles.
For people who don't want to fight mobs to make money.
Put it away.
Couldn't you create a business selling building materials to people who do have quartz, and then you'd make money from that? Like maybe set up a stand near one of the, like, for example, what if you set up a shop near one of the checkpoints, near one of the waypoints, and sell fish? I'm sure people will buy the fish for food, and you can make quartz doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm in this time.
Yeah, I hear you now. Hello, Turtle. Okay.
Am I able to go back and speak about the extortion thing? Because that's the one I wanted to talk about.
No, we're talking about the automated
first.
biomes. This is your son? So explain
Yes,
what
I can speak about that.
what's the automated biome assignment? What's that?
All right, you mentioned a while back when I offered my services to wander around the server and assign biomes on different chunks. You actually consider giving it to me as a permission, as opposed to making me a staff, but just giving me that one. But then somebody brought up the note that I wouldn't be able to do anything really effectively because I can't travel across the entire ancient world and biome by biome. I'd only have to make a few changes by chunks. So I think it was Jakortha, that mentioned there is an algorithm where you can run over the server.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, actually, that's going to be covered in the next sign that I can see here. What changes will you make to the ancient world during Dern? And that's one of the things I'm going to be doing while everyone's on Dern. I'm going to be taking another look over the biomes, and I'm going to be running biome changes across the whole map.
If it's even remotely possible, like if there's some painter or something,
yeah,
I could participate and join you in making biomes, because biomes have always been one of my favorite things.
It's pretty easy for me to do. I'll be doing that. Don't worry about it. I'm going to have plenty of time. You guys are going to be on Dern for a few months, so I'll be running all those.
I was just curious because because if it's going to be done manually, everyone's going to miss something.
Red Fox.
Yeah, Turtle, you are correct about that, and we have talked. Several of us have talked to him about that. So, but the problem is you have to have a lot of, you gotta do a lot of things for it. So
yeah,
that we can't do as just a player.
Yeah.
Can't a player be assigned permissions to change biomes like they were in creative, as if they were in creative mode?
Yes, but
it's a little more complicated.
It's complicated, and to do it manually as a player, it'd be very.
Shouldn't be a staff member.
It's very inefficient. The best way, the reason why the server's going down while you guys are on Shorokoth is because I'll be doing a lot of those big processes like changing biomes and expanding the ocean.
So you're gonna go over the whole server?
Yeah, the whole server. Yeah.
In a desert that was all beach.
Yep.
One area, the ocean was like a chunk full of swampland, and the ocean was a different color. It's crazy.
Yes, you're right. We have all seen that, and that is true. And I know Zay. I talked to a long time with Zay about it and discussed it, but it's a little more. It's pretty complicated to do. It's not something just you can be given a permission to do.
I would suggest, though, similar to how we have map labels, what if we had a biome request, like where we point out issues in biomes or even take pictures?
Yeah,
that would be useful.
That is true. Yes, we've talked about that, and yes, that would be helpful. Why don't you send those to me, and I'll try to pass them on to whoever's eventually going to do it. Drax's going to do it, or
yeah, it could go in the map section.
Because it went over it. Now that the biomes have finished, can I bring? I was supposed to speak about the extortion one.
We're going to get to that at the end. We're going to move to the next sign now, guys. So the next sign, next sign is new Discord chat categories, unrelated Discord section. So basically, we're asking for an off-topic section on the Discord. Yes.
Yes, that's my sign.
can you explain that more, Eris?
Well, for people who just really don't... Well, people who don't want to talk about anything ancient world related, simply.
Yeah, that's
but
fine.
We did mention earlier that too many categories would be confusing, so I'm not sure about it anymore.
We can always try it.
That sounds kind of interesting, Eris. What were you thinking?
What?
Off-topic and wiki discussion on there.
Yeah, the unrelated is just simply where you can talk about whatever, and it's okay. Nobody cares, but here's a picture of a pony, and it's okay.
Okay.
Oh, so Coldwave says we can...
The other one...
Sorry.
The other one, Don, the wiki discussion, yes, we were going to go to this to the end. This was also my point. Since there's been a lot of debate about how the thing is run, we can have a channel specifically about what's going on the wiki. We'll take that later.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, we can combine the off-topic with the meme channel. We'll just have off-topic/meme. Or just have it off-topic. We'll just call it off-topic. Sorry? Wiki?
The off-topic thing is a terrible idea. That's going to lead to political fights, religious fights.
It's off-topic. It doesn't matter.
That already. And I don't come on here to talk about that kind of thing.
But Turtle, that separates it from you. So you go about your business, you do what you want, you don't look at that.
Yeah, just stay on the...
People...
I understand. I apologize. But the extortion thing had nothing to do with the wiki. I know we're going to put that last. I just wanted to let you know that was a completely different issue.
Okay, hold on. Let's get through the signs first. Are there any more over there?
Yeah, there's 2 more signs. When we come back to the old mainland, do we have time to claim our old bases? I think we spoke about that. There will be like a grace period, I think, where we'll be watching over and making sure people aren't stealing and everyone gets their stuff back. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last sign is custom enchants and more artifacts. Yes, on Dern there will be, but as far as I know, the age of artifacts is over. That was the Dark Moon stuff, so I don't think anything big is in the works in terms of that, but there are unique things on Dern that you can find, definitely. That's the answer to that sign. So I think that's it. That's all the signs, guys. Anyone have any questions?
Yes. Is this the appropriate time to mention that extortion thing? Because you said before we talk about the wiki, I wanted to bring that last one up.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Extortion and blackmail. This has been done to me several times, and and it's been done to my cousins, and I'm almost certain it's been done to other people over time. Basically, what I'm referring to is, I'll give you the worst example, which was one done to my cousins. My cousins were blindsided because of something I did wrong, and they had to get a rollback because they were grieved. I'm not going to go into that, but basically they were trying to force my cousins to break their alliance with me. It really bothered me because they were forced to break their alliance with me, or else the people that were issuing the threat would come and kill you again and again and again and take your stuff. What I'm trying to say is that, and Vasca did it to me too, where they demanded I not speak in global, or they would constantly come and kill me. Some other guy did that to me, but basically what I'm trying to talk about is that it should be illegal, both in character and out, to threaten killing and raiding you in order to get you to comply to something you do not wish to do. For example, I have in my faction Groki Hordor, at one point a Turthite, and he's not a Turthite anymore because he realized there's problems with that when he got a meteor up his backside. So I wanted to point that out, and they told me if I didn't action and stop defending him despite promising I did, that they would come and kill me, take my base, and everything like that. Tell me how to run my faction. That's an example of extortion. Vasca did it very well. I'm calling for a complete ban on that no faction should be able to force another faction to do something they don't want to do.
Not that I talk very much, but isn't part of factions somewhat in that nature as well?
I can agree.
Speaking of Groki, we're the faction that had severe issues with him. We moved. We defend our area against him or any faction that has him, because he will or has in the past turned on that faction, and if he's fine in your faction, that's fine, but part of factions is war.
Understand that part, but I'm not talking about fighting me. First of all, Hodor works.
Okay,
really
hold on,
as-
Turtle, hold on for a minute. Can you let some other people talk first so we can kind of hear what everybody thinks?
I apologize. I'm not finished.
Extortion is bad. Yes, part of factions is that we had to let him go out of our faction to avoid issues, and that seemed to create more problems, but there have been ceased. And I know what faction threatened you, and we're not affiliated with that faction, but one person in a faction can create loads of drama, and it's difficult. It's part of the politics.
No, sir, you're misunderstanding what I'm speaking of. I'm not speaking about a faction throwing someone out or attacking back in retaliation for someone who is attacked you. I'm talking about if you're not defending yourself or you're not going to war with another faction. In my case, the faction with me before and had never fought me before, and who Hodor had not wronged. All the situations, I had never been with that faction, and they threatened to destroy me if I didn't remove him from my faction.
Because they were
Hodor
allied
works for
with.
me, and he
was. It's because they were allied
against people without me saying okay. So he's not going to bother you.
Yeah,
well, it's just the factions of other factions know that he was the issue, so everybody's going to be eerie of him for probably a while, and it's not against you, it's severely against him. But like I said, it's called protection of your own, because nobody trusts him, and they can cite you as part of him. It's not how good of a person you are; it's the people you hang out with. Scenario.
That, again, is not the topic I was speaking of. In the case I was speaking of, I'll use Voska as the example, because I use global chat a lot. If I break the rules, I get muted like anybody else, but I generally do not break the rules in global chat. I just use it a lot. And Voska explicitly said they would absolutely destroy me if I kept doing it. I with their demand, and they killed me. Again, again, and again.
That would be a faction to faction issue, your faction versus theirs, them creating the scenario of this is your terms, abide or war, part of the faction ally neutral truce.
Factions should not have the authority to dictate to someone else how they run their faction by using threats of violence, especially if the faction is not able to defend itself.
Turtle, no offense, that's how factions is. There's not going to be peaceful factions on TAW.
Ally, neutral, truce, enemy.
Yeah.
I mean,
between going to war and raiding somebody and saying, if you don't do exactly what I tell you, I am going to kill you.
Korea versus the United States.
Yeah, like not being allowed to trade with certain people on threat of war from other people is also a mechanic. Things like that is very common in real war and in factions wars.
There's a difference between an embargo and somebody complaining because I used the global chat. Or there's a difference between a person who has not wronged you joining me and you're going to destroy me with that person, even though that person hasn't harmed you. Although Hodor had a problem in the past, he hasn't been a nuisance since he's been working for me. And I get why you should kill him on sight and not trust him. understand why people should be allowed to ruin other people's days and kill them. My cousins were killed. My cousins were killed because they were allied with me, not because they were attacking, but because they were.
May I ask you, with what you just said, with your current words, let's say, and by the way, we are allies in game. Let's say Hodar comes within range and he is a kill on sight. I can't kill him. He's ally. So I enemy you to kill the Hodor. You're going to have an issue because I enemied your faction because of that one person.
Sir, that's not extortion. That's because you can't touch him because he's in my faction. But I would appreciate if you do that you inform me why by using the mail. Tell me, like, you're my enemy right now because I need to take somebody out who's wrong with me.
Again, that's not how factions work. When you ally and somebody attacks the other, they don't give you warning. You get a thing that you are now enemied, and they can go after either you or the person they're after. It was my understanding at the time, your cousins were also at the point of supporting Grogi and taking things. So that is why they were attacked.
Man, my cousins were not involved with Hodor in any way. My cousins had absolutely no connections to when they were wiped.
Okay, I gotta jump in here for a minute. Hold on. Turtle, you have something on where it's echoing. We're all getting an echo, so every time we talk, we hear an echo too. So can you just turn your microphone off when you're not talking?
Yep.
One more thing, my helper's telling me I need to get off for a moment. I know you had discussed earlier economy and placement of faction after the map comes back in a few months. Since it is a snapshot or a saved map, wouldn't the faction claims still be there along with player data?
Yeah, we talked about that already.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best to. Yeah, I'm gonna do my best to
save that.
Preserve the data. There's always the chance of data loss.
Things happen.
Yeah, things happen, but I'm gonna do my best to hold on to the data. And if any of it's lost, I'll make sure you guys know about it, and we'll do what we can to restore things to how they were when we left.
Okay. Shine will update me from more. Thank you.
No worries. So,
I would also like to say, for those running around throwing things, please take a seat. It is very annoying and hard to focus on what people are talking about.
Yeah, please sit down, guys. Everyone who's running around throwing things, please take a seat. Okay, so yeah, to just summarize, you know, factions is always kind of like the way factions is built is to be, you know, it's supposed to simulate conflict, but it also supposed to balance it in a way. You know, if we didn't have factions, you could just wander into anyone's build and steal all their chests. So, you know, factions creates a sort of barrier where, you know, your power is tied to your strengths and weaknesses of your build, and you know, the kind of armor you wear. I mean, if you get killed, if a player kills you in PvP, you know, it's completely not against the rules for a player to kill you and claim your base, and they can kill you again if they want, and they can kill you again, and they can kill you again. I mean, that's just the mechanics. That's why it's built, and you know, it's built in a way for it to be player directed in a way that it's supposed to require minimal staff interjection. So I hope we're all on the same page about that. I don't think we should be arguing about the specifics of, you know, who killed who and who did that. I mean, that's just part of the game, guys. And I guess if you really don't like interacting with other people, you could always be a hermit and go live on Dagonfell or something. Okay, so I want to just take the topic over to the Wikipedia now. Before everyone says something, I just want to put a few of my own words in to start. There's been a lot of controversy lately about the Wikipedia and some edits that are being made and the way things are being handled over there. I know what people are going to say. They're going to talk about Turtleshroom has been these. I'm reading this from my notes here. I've wrote these down. Turtle has been making a lot of edits to existing things, or he's been adding lore upon existing things. So I just want to say, Turtleshroom, I know you're listening. I want to say that when I made you a staff member on the wiki, I believe I've set you as a admin on there to organize the categorization of pages and the linking of pages and the formatting. So what I mean by that is, if someone writes a new wiki article, for example, let's say Mayflower writes a page about her backstory of her character, it's your job, Turtle, to categorize and move her page into the character section or into the players section of the wiki. If someone puts a book up on the Wikipedia, say Latte adds a book to the Wikipedia, it's your job to make sure it's in the right category, you know, if it's a lore book or whatever. But I don't think you should be editing pages themselves. Okay, this is a new rule, okay guys, listen up. If someone writes a new page from scratch onto the Wikipedia, that page belongs to that player. That's their property. So it's not up to anyone else to decide what should be changed on there. If something's offensive, if you're offended by something someone's written, or you believe something's written error, please direct it to the moderators or myself and we'll look into it, but please don't take it upon yourself to change things, because that creates more problems. And finally, if players wish to write new lore for the server, this is just my preference, but I think you guys should write things in the game. Now, we've only had a Wikipedia page since last year, and it is really useful and it's a really neat thing to have, but before we had a Wikipedia, all we had were book and quills and libraries in the game, and I think we should keep things like that. I mean, because at the end of the day, the Wikipedia is an internet web page, whereas the Ancient World, you know, this is the server itself. So if you guys want to spend time writing, do it in the game, guys. I think it's better served if it's in the game. Who agrees with me?
That is an excellent idea. There is no room for corruption if it's just a bunch of people making fiction.
Yeah. And
absolutely right.
And anyone's
I
welcome
think the wiki.
Yeah.
I think the wiki should really just have the basics and like how to get started on the server, what you can do.
Yeah.
Yes,
the player.
Sorry.
The player wiki pages that people write for themselves are mostly just personal biographies as opposed to server lore as it is. So.
Yeah, our history and physical description. If we keep it to that, and then the rest just quill in books, like,
yeah,
I think we'll have a really good time.
Yeah, and there are definitely plots for sale in Ironheart. I mean, what's stopping any of you guys from renting a plot out and starting a library or something, some kind of lore archive? I mean, come on, guys, get on it. You seem to really care about the wiki. All this fighting that's been going on. I mean, I don't see any of you guys starting a library. Come on.
I'll do it. I'll take care of the lore.
I have a mini one, but
yeah.
Make sure you make lots of copies of your books.
Oh, without a doubt.
Well, we still have the library that we put together at Oak's Rest. I mean, all those books are still there, so that could be added to something. I mean, that needs to get organized. We put it all in categories. I've read every book, and so, but now it's in Oak's Rest, so it kind of needs to be put somewhere permanently.
That can't get rifted, please. Eternal Library, yes.
Ironheart is never going to be rifted again, guys. So Ironheart's around to stay. It's Eloria. It's in Eloria grade of protection now.
I was going to say, I will volunteer to build a library for those books if you all want me to. I just need to know how big you need it to be.
Yeah, actually, there's a building right across from the admin shop at Port Orange. It's like a law building. Aliens is here. Could you explain the purpose of that building? I think it's just a decoration at the moment, but I think it could be better served as an archive or something, right?
I agree. And Latte, maybe you could be in charge of it, like organize it.
I'm actually not going to be here much longer. But
okay.
sorry. But Turtlestream is accusing me of lying about what I said, so I would appreciate. Could I post screenshots to the screenshot channel of the argument between him and I in private chat?
Right.
I just don't want.
Well, I don't think sharing private chats a good idea because I mean it's private, shouldn't be shared in public. But you can send it to me, I guess, if you really want me to.
Yeah, it's the same one that I sent you.
But, Aliens, it's called
Yeah.
the Sons of Iron. It's a building called Sons of Iron, and it's just past the admin shop. Yeah.
Turtle, what Dracortha says is appropriate is his business. I kind of understand why he says that. But yeah, Drac has seen the screenshots, so it's up to him whether or not I was hostile, I suppose.
Yeah, good idea, Aliens. I think it would be a really great idea to have. Yeah, so just coming back to the topic of new law writing. I mean, it's great that people are getting motivated to write new articles and write new law, but I think, like I said, it would be better served on the server itself, because at the end of the day, the wiki should be a derivative of the ancient world. It shouldn't be the first source, the first place people go to write new stuff, you know? So, write the stuff in the game first, and then if it's really good, put it up on the wiki. Second.
And is there anyone who wants to volunteer to do the library?
I think Aliens is the original author of the new Port Orange, so I think it's appropriate to give her the permissions to, you know, build it up.
I agree. Is Aliens here?
Yeah, she's here. If she's up for it, I'm certainly, you know, supportive of it. Yeah, sure, Aliens. OC can help.
Great.
And anyone else who you want to be involved in the building project, of course, you're not going to get creative or anything, so there's going to be no foul play. Just give you guys permissions to build. Okay.
Yeah, I'll help build and give supplies.
Yeah.
Donna, thank you for volunteering, even though we're going to use the other building, but thank you for doing that.
No problem.
Hey, Ironheart's still there. I mean, things can be done with Ironheart, but I suppose that could be for another day. Turtle, you wanted to say something. Hello.
Turtle.
He said something in the general chat. Okay, sorry, Aros. I apologize for the mistake. I don't know if there was more that he wanted to say or not.
That was just in response to Eros.
He has retreated into his shell. Come back to us, Turtle.
I have not retreated into my shell, no ma'am. Okay, I'm going to explain the wiki the way on this. When I spoke to Dracortha about it and he promoted me, I actually have what's called bureaucrat powers on the wiki. That means I am immune from demotion and from banning. Now, that's not to say I can do whatever I want, because Dracortha is my superior on the wiki and I do what he tells me. But basically, what I was doing with editing the stuff was wrote this to Dracortha early on, that I've worked on a website with a big overarching continuity and lore. He was speaking about you can't edit this and this and this is actually the rule set, if I recall correctly, that I proposed to him. Basically what it works like is this. There's an overarching continuity and lore in Ancient World, and Dracortha's word is law. If he says this is how it is on the Ancient World, it is so.
Well, the way
you can't contradict that somebody's greater than Turtle.
Well, the way I want it to be is on the wiki. This is how I want the wiki to be governed and how how
Theramer,
it
I
should
wasn't.
be. If someone writes a page on the wiki, that's their page. So there is no one's. It's no one's job to go in there and change it. If anyone has an issue with the way a page is written, like for example, if someone writes something that's offensive, let me know and I'll have a look at it.
I did not do that.
Yeah. But Turtle, I have given you the responsibility to categorize things and to add links to things. Now, what I mean by linking to things is, I'll give you an example. Let's say Aros writes a lore page about his character, and within his lore page it mentions that his character was born on Oristar, and it says Oristar in the description. You are free to add a link to that Oristar, so when people click on Oristar, it goes to an article about Oristar. So you can add links to things. That's fine. That's not changing anything. That's just linking things together, and that's fine. Another thing you're allowed to do is to categorize things. So you can move books into the book section. You can move player lore into the player lore section. You can categorize stuff. But when it comes to editing other people's work, nobody has permission to do that. From me, no one has my permission to do that. So that's just for everyone's future reference to not edit anyone else's pages. And if there's a good reason to edit someone else's page,
Formatting.
please, even formatting. If someone's formatted a page very badly, let the person know. Say, hey, your page is really badly formatted. Let them know, but don't change it because it can cause problems.
I don't know if Saramer's trying to make fun of me or something, or because I wasn't bringing up the old fan fiction thing. I was talking about what I was talking to you about in private chat about how out of character and who controls what works. It was the way the system I was explaining to you was, well, nobody allowed me to finish. The system I was explaining was a balance, editing other pages and such, versus a person having original control of their article, and they can override or undo or say this is not so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That the person who owns the article always has the final say and can edit and revert any other change made or added to their article without exception.
Yeah, but you can't expect them to check their page all the time after you put it up. So if anyone is making edits, you can't expect them to keep going back and asking you not to or undoing those changes.
I would expect if somebody told you not to edit again, like you edit or add something and say that's incorrect and you take it down, don't put it back. If somebody puts it back, they should be disciplined.
So you should be disciplined.
It just creates a whole lot of roundabout extra work if you have a system
Which is work
like
I'm willing
that.
to do. That's the thing. I volunteered for this job, and I'm perfectly willing to do all of that on your behalf. I thought that was the entire reason I was in charge in the first place.
We don't want you doing work where you're inserting your own narrative.
And I think if you want to create narrative, do it.
Something existing.
And again, if you want to write new content, I'm going to suggest once again to write it on the server, like write a book, and submit it to the library. I think it's better if we have, I don't normally like to.
Theramer's post making fun of me got all those upvotes.
Let's put all our eggs in the same basket, And I don't normally say that, but I think Ancient World's the best basket, and we should put all our eggs into that, in my opinion. And the Wikipedia is just a bonus. It's like a derivative, it's there to add things from the server.
That's not how I saw it, but
yeah,
be on the server, you might as well just put it on your WordPress and leave it as that, because honestly, I was expecting the lore to be archived and all the wiki to be greatly expanded and be used as the definitive locale for it, and that's why I got jumped head on first into adding and expanding stuff, because I was hoping that I would be able to make myself and actually do something.
But the problem was sort of, you weren't just expanding, you were also rewriting. You rewrote books, reused titles.
Okay.
In fact, I
changed.
Excuse me,
I reverted that back.
I would like to finish. Okay.
Turtle, you gotta let her finish, please.
In addition, not only I understand that you did revert some of the edits to the books, but your language, you made it sound like you were entitled to do so. I came out about it. Jakarta has the screenshots. I was like, please don't edit books. And you said, I govern the wiki. You are just mad because I edited your shitty books. That is a quote.
I don't curse.
Sorry, crappy. No, you are right. You said crappy. I am sorry. But I don't think that expanding was your only goal.
Thought it wasn't.
Well, the first goal really was to restore the wiki to working order. That was really the original goal because the old one was griefed. So we've got that down. The wiki's back.
Speak what Litte was saying. Yes, I did admit that I was completely in error. I had no idea why the books were there in the first place. I thought they were just adding them. They were meant to be fixed because they were just copy-paste and they weren't following formatting. That was a mistake.
But then after you realized your mistake, you then continued to edit the title of one of my books because of quote-unquote personal preference. You thought it should have a title.
I turned that back to Grow Awaken, Litte. I turned that back to Grow Awaken because you were right. And I apologize for that mistake.
I appreciate that very much.
What I was arguing about... Would you quit putting owned... Okay, I was talking to whoever keeps writing owned like I'm doing something wrong on there. Never mind.
Well, I think we've settled it, guys.
What I was arguing about against Litte was I changed it back to Grow Awakened because I was mistaken on that, and that was an accident, and I apologize for being misinterpreting. But what I was arguing about was removing like articles like V or articles like A because that corrupts the alphabetization algorithm.
Yeah.
Under the letter T. That completely ruins organizing the books. So we cannot have articles like that.
Yep.
Right. Grow Awakened was the title, and I changed that, and I was mistaken. But I'm talking about alphabetization.
There we go. New emoji on the Discord, guys. Have fun with that one.
I personally think Grow deserves his own emoji.
Yes.
So, Shorikoth Dern, guys. Or the Age of Exile. How are we feeling about it? How are we feeling about it?
Did you ever even consider Age of the Triangle? I know Age of Exile sounds way cooler.
You said no. And
I was just laughing because that was the original name I had proposed, was Age of Triangle.
Maybe brighten the emoji a bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just thought it was kind of funny.
No, it's I know it's a reference to the Bermuda, but yeah, it's
Anyway, Age of Exile sounds way cooler.
Yeah, we're gonna. Well, that's thanks to Zay and Fen. They had the name idea for that. So yeah, just gonna quickly run over the notes for the Shorikoth Dern. So we've got the factions with lowered power levels and a power loss of 3 on death. Yeah. We've got no spawn point. We've got waypoints instead, about 5 waypoints. We've got mob zones. Most of them are not well guarded, so you can take them if you like, or whatever. We're gonna get some new channels on the Discord, guys. We're gonna get the conflict channel back. We're gonna mix roleplay and a lore channel, and we're gonna make the meme an off-topic section as well. I'm gonna be looking at some new plugins.
I think meme should remain its own channel.
Maybe I don't know. I mean, I don't think memes should have their own channel, but
big meme connoisseur. I've always been a big fan of memes, and I know there's other people that like them too. Yeah. I think that we should be allowed to post that because some of that stuff is brilliant.
Okay, Turtle, can you let him finish? Because we really need to kind of wrap up because people need to leave.
Yeah, we're at 2 hours now, so that's usually how long these meetings go. We're going to have Lockette with a 3-day expiry on Shorikoth. There will be a 3-day downtime prior to March 10th. The server will go into a maintenance mode, and we'll have a countdown timer for when that server will open with the Age of Exile. We're going to have Werewolves, the Werewolves plugin. So for more information on that, for all the new information, just go to the blog over the next few hours. I'm going to be writing up an article about this meeting and everything that we've learned today. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for coming to the meeting.
Can I point out one more thing? Before the server shuts down, everybody should put their stuff that they want to keep in a chest.
Correct, yeah.
Because if it's in your inventory, it's liable to be deleted.
And your end chest as well.
Yeah, that's right. I can't believe I didn't bring that up. Yeah, when the server does close for that maintenance on March 7th, there's going to be likely inventory wipes, maybe, possibly. So put all your things in chests and take things out of your end in chests. Shulker chests that are stashed away in chests safe, yeah, they should be. Yeah, because they're not tied to player data. Take everything out of your ender chests, that's right, and put them in regular chests. Don't have to do that today, just make sure you get it done before March 7th, guys. And,
Sounds good. Thank you for all your hard work. You
No,
worked very hard on that.
no worries.
And Teachin's not here, but I know she's there with you. So tell her thank you very much. You worked very hard.
Yeah, Tishan has done a lot of the world building parts of Shurikoth, so if you find really cool looking ruins and stuff, it's a good chance that it was done by Tishan.
And all the people that did the wonderful builds. I mean, it really added different flavor for all different parts of it.
You guys like the trailer? It's pretty cool, right?
I loved it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Took a long time to make that, not in terms of hours, but like just deciding on how it should be, like what music to use and what the style should be. But once I figure out what kind of style I want to use, I get it done quick.
Perfect use of music.
Yes.
You, sir, have very good taste.
Thank you. And so do you, because you play on the Ancient World. Everyone who plays here has good taste.
We do.
Okay, I'm going to end the stream. That's the official side of things done. Thank you, guys.